What's going on? We here. Yes, it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Second episode is underway. You are now tuned in to the Royal Podcast with your boy, the rapper turned actor turned pastor turned don't put a brother in a box anymore. And the one and only, what it is, the fly, the fashion, the fabulous, the favored Rachel McFlyness.
Oh my god. Wow.
Too much? Too much?
What an intro.
Okay. Speaking of intro, let me make sure I cut the music off on this bad boy. But that was the first time, you know. It's good to have your own music so that, you ain't got to pay for it.
It was great music too. Great music. If you haven't had it, you haven't checked it out, definitely do. Eddie Mo.
Yeah. So, anyway, you know what it is. It's the Royal Podcast, y'all. We are excited to bring hope in a hostile world. We know life is crazy. Life is absurd at times. And, it is our goal to always just bring some encouragement to you. So we're going to be fun. We're going to be engaging. And we're going to get right into it. Life, marriage, ministry, things that's going on. It's been a crazy week. We had
Exciting week.
Exciting week. First and foremost, we've had a lot of graduations.
Yes,
it seems
congratulations, everyone who's graduating. And this is just the season of graduating. So
for
for those who've already done so and will look forward to it, yes,
tis the season.
Tis the season.
You're right. Yeah, this is the season. The question is, are we hopeful? Are we hopeless in these seasons? So it's definitely that is what we titled this episode number 2 to you. We had, Rachie, we had Oprah in town.
Yes.
Taylor Swift. Been in town. Janet Jackson.
She's here. She was here.
And Ludacris.
Yes.
It's been crazy. Like a lot of people been in town. Big up to the Nashville economy, like all these folks in town. But let me ask you, if you had to pick someone to see, you got to pick someone to go see, who you going to check out?
Well, I think that it would be appropriate to see Oprah.
Oh, okay.
And do a combination here.
You ain't going to see Luda?
I mean, I actually met him, and so check. So
There you go. Where you meet Luda?
I mean, it's okay. Don't do that.
What you doing? You in Atlanta? What you doing in Atlanta? Ran into Ludacris. Chris Bridges. You know him personally. You call him Chris.
Stop.
Oh. Okay, so you going with Oprah? That's a good question. Janet, Taylor, Oprah. I probably go Oprah too.
Really?
I mean, Luda. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was rocking some Luda hardcore back in the day. I mean, I don't really get down with that, as much. But the brother got bars, and the brother definitely is a dope artist. And so I don't know how much moving, getting out the way.
Wow, he did.
I'm gonna be doing, but nevertheless, I feel you. What has been? Let me ask you, what's been your favorite show? Like that you just in general that you've been to?
Like an artist?
Yeah.
Of course, none other than Eddie Mo.
Oh wow, I did not, man. Let me. Do you gotta throw your spouse a couple dollars for, That's what's up. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know if it's true though. I'm right here. I guess you gotta. I'm a retired rapper though. I mean, you can keep it real.
You still got it. You do. You do.
Sounds good. Good. So sometimes you got to throw some, throw the bars out there every now and let the people know that you can still, give them 16, give them 24, something like that. So, but I will say for me, Andy Mineo.
Come on,
is a Andy dope Mineo. Show. If y'all haven't seen Andy Mineo live,
yes.
That's a phenomenal. He puts
does
on
a great show.
I mean, everybody in 116 put on a dope. They put on a dope show.
Absolutely.
But Andy is like the creativity is dope. Is dope for sure. So, nevertheless, we are here, man. That's good. Did you? You put on we put on. I need to put on another show.
Really,
let
something
the
else
people
is
know.
coming up. Brewing.
Yeah.
I see the wheels turning. You're thinking about it.
Man, look. Anyway.
Okay.
It's also. I mean, I don't know how much this matters to many to the audience we speaking to, but it's also coronation
Oh,
week.
oh,
The pageantry of King Charles, and
wow,
it's
wow.
funny. I just my people. I'm fresh out of London. I just took a trip, just took a trip to the UK. Spent some time in England, and funny enough, I don't know if you know this, but my name is an Old English name.
It,
Go
it,
figure.
I mean,
Edwin. Do that
Edwin,
sound?
it
Roy, do
does
that
sound
sound? It's,
old English. Yes, it does. It sounds regal. I love Edwin. I think it's
you got to say
fantastic.
oh yeah, it sounds old.
I think it's great. And what does it mean? What does Edwin mean?
My name means rich friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I mean, how do you equate that? Is that like talking about money? Like I'm going to be massively rich, or am I just going to be like rich in friendship? I think it could be.
Just
Can it be both?
I
Oh,
think it can be
sorry.
both, but I do
I mean,
believe
but
friendship is important and
yes,
very
yeah,
valuable. If you don't have rich friendship, that should be a goal for sure this year
that's
is to
true.
develop a good friend because
Yeah, yeah.
it's great to have one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many? Am I who's your best friend outside of me?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. I mean,
Put
Jesus
you on the
was my
spot.
first bestie and always will stick to me like
Right.
closer than another.
Yeah.
However, as a human person, yeah,
Right.
you are my bestie.
Oh. Nevertheless, here we go. So yeah, I spent some time in London. Did a John Wesley study. It was an absolute wonderful trip. I
What an
remember
opportunity.
it was a blessing. It was really cool to get on the other side of the pond, see how they do life, see how they drive on the other side of the road.
Yes.
It's funny. I could never. I was there for 2 weeks, and the concept of driving on the wrong side, right? They,
Really.
yeah.
I love how it's just something that's
That's true.
different
It's
is
wrong.
always wrong.
Yeah, yeah. That's real. On the other side of the road, like I never got used to it. Like the whole time. Many times you almost get hit because the car you think is going wide left, it's actually going short right. And it really throws you off a lot. So I was there for 2 weeks. I never really got used to it. It was just like my brain could not just compute it at all. It was crazy. So, and the fish and chips was delicious, but after a while, you kind of get tired of the fish and chips.
Oh,
They had other food too, but nevertheless, the royal. I felt it only right to bring up the royal coronation that was taking place this week because we are the royal podcast,
yes. Yes, we
and
are.
it carries significance. This podcast is based on First Peter 2,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's
For
good.
we are a chosen race, a royal priesthood. What does that mean? How do you see that, Rach? Like for our audience, for our people listening, chiming in right now, to
Hmm.
to be considered royalty? Because sometimes we look at it and say, "Man, I don't have the biological or the heritage that's being represented this weekend with at Buckingham Palace and things like that." But being royal in God's eyes, like what's your thoughts?
Right. I just think it's great because being the one who's carrying everything, I think it's wonderful that we can just rest in him. But there's a responsibility with being in the royal party. There's a responsibility to live out, and I believe that we all have a place, an opportunity to live out our royal responsibility of just loving well, honoring well, serving well, just really being a light and
Yeah,
hope.
yeah. What an honor, right?
Yes,
Right,
for sure. For
right.
you,
Yeah, for,
when you're
yeah,
thinking about royalty,
right.
what is that really looking like for you?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we know like that Jesus is our high priest and that he represents us to God. But then for that almost to be imparted to us, that we can represent God
Mm,
in this place
mm,
in this land that we live in, that we are God's
yeah,
representation. We talk about you know uh, being identified, like that's being part of the court, the royal court, being part of what God is wanting to do and having a place in that.
yeah,
It's humbling to be like, man, God, you called us chosen. You called us royal. You called us like as a partner with you. And like you said as well, it is weighty because even in Old Testament, like we saw, like the high priest had to go into the holy of holies
Yeah.
and represent, and they had to tie a rope around his ankle
Mm.
because they wasn't sure he was coming out. Let's leave it at
Mm.
that. So I think it's we're not saved by works, but we are called for good works.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
it's
good.
like God is saying, man, I'm calling you to a higher standard. I'm calling you to a higher living, and it's something that we can walk out through the Spirit of
Right.
God.
It's available. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's available through him. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's not something that we're trying to muster up. It's just like, okay, God, I place my faith in
Yeah.
you. I'm placing my confidence in you, and I allow what you've already spoken to me to empower the walk.
Yeah.
Because I know the walk isn't easy. Many times we feel like we got to get it together before we.
Before.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You know,
Not true.
Yeah, not true. Those are, God's like, no, I'll work that out. I'll clean
Yeah.
clean you up, and it's not based on anything other than God choosing us and God
Correct.
calling us and God saying that you are enough. So I speak that to you guys out there,
Yes.
man, that you are enough. God sees you through the lens of Christ. So through that faith, through that repentance, through
Yeah.
that saying, Lord, I make you central, like the creator of the universe has called us royalty, not
Right.
some random person,
Right.
not somebody even in our family that's like, man, I'm casting you out of the
Yeah.
family. You ain't
Yeah.
part of the family, yada
Right.
yada.
Right.
So I think that's dope.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So yeah, with that, we are with graduation. Well, a lot of things are happening. I really feel like we're in a season of transition. A lot of us, a lot of people, as school ends, the school year
Yes.
comes to a close. We're all walking through difficult seasons and challenges in life. Let me ask you, which one of your more difficult seasons that you've been through or going through? Hopefully it ain't. I mean, I hope you ain't in a difficult season right now with, at least maritally. Is that a word?
Well, I think that from difficult seasons, it's always hard. It's always been hard for me to leave a season. So, like, I was that student that was looking forward to staying in school. I didn't love the summers. It meant we had to say goodbye to one thing or another. And obviously, with all my moves that I've done, it's been challenging to move. It's not. That was a difficult time. However, those moves have prepared me and prepped me for my season now, which
Okay.
is it's been great. My dad always said that that was going to be good for me, and in the moment, it didn't feel great. I said, "Dad, all these moves are not great."
Mm,
Especially at the pivotal times that I was moving.
mhm,
But it did help me to connect with people more,
mhm.
to be relatable with other people. And for the person who doesn't love change a ton, it helped me to start getting more
Wow.
accustomed to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. That's a big piece that you just shared. Like you really don't like change
I
a lot.
mean,
Not a big fan. And you've moved. I mean,
yes,
several
and
several
but
times.
it's prepared me every time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm stretched more
Hmm.
and more equipped, for sure.
That's real.
Difficult time for you?
Yeah, I think probably one of the more difficult times was when I got diagnosed with
Mm,
chronic illness,
mm.
and I didn't have the strength to do what I was used to
Oh
doing,
yeah. Wow.
and that dynamic felt very limiting
Mm.
and very like, man, I won't be able to, you know, do what God's called me to do. But what I found out, ladies and gentlemen, is that in our weakness,
Mm.
God is strong.
Yeah, that's good.
And you may feel, and I even felt like
Yeah.
my weakness was a limitation. But I found out I'm learning. I'm learning that my weaknesses and my inabilities are actually like many times God's like, now I can use you because you're not trying to do it on your own might, on your own
Right,
strength. So,
right.
going through surgeries or surgery, going through different medications and different things like that was really, really challenging, and it's continued to be a journey. But I'm learning that God is with us through
Right.
these journeys. It's not necessarily trying to get us to the other end and be like, thank you, God, I'm out. I'm finally done. But no, it's kind of, God is like, I want you to be able to find peace in the
Yeah.
middle of the journey,
Yeah.
in the middle of, instead of waiting until the destination or the end journey where you can look back, but being able to trust in the Lord and to being able to kind of celebrate Him
Right.
through that
Right.
allows us to, and it strengthens us so that we can be a testimony to others. So we can,
Exactly. Others. That's
Yeah.
what came up to when you were speaking. That's what came to my mind is also he sends rich friends. So you can be a friend to someone, encourage them along the way,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
When you're in these difficult times, that sometimes people are going through different seasons together at the same time, and the Lord shows us that there are times for everything, and so in the season that we have, we can maybe be encouraging to someone else. Someone else may have gone through something similar, and you maybe your very thing that you have experienced may be something that can help someone stay continuing on in the journey in a way that is a fight and instead of flight and going away from what God is really wanting to do in their lives.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of times we feel like we are alone, so we
Yeah.
don't share.
Yeah.
And I think there's a blessing in the transparency. Obviously, you can't tell everybody everything because they run with it, but having people that you can
Yes,
confide
a
in,
rich friend.
oh, come on, bring it up, full circle. But having people in your life that's like, okay, man, I'm with you, man. I'm ride or die. I'm rolling with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because
Good.
for far too long we felt like, and that's what the enemy wants to do, is to isolate us or feel like nobody else is going through what we're going through.
Right.
But like nothing's new under the sun.
Right.
And people are going through and dealing with things, and so yeah, I love that. What was our toughest season together? I'll go first. I believe that our first year of being married was our toughest. I think it was my toughest season. Just trying to understand the different dynamics
Yeah.
outside of what
Yeah.
side of the bed we're sleeping on.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Just-
because of the
'cause we were
his
older.
selfishness.
Ooh, whose? Mine?
Ours.
I thought you because of your selfishness, bro. Golly, I'm your wife, man.
No, and
No.
for
But
and
real
for-
talk, yeah, it is selfishness.
And for
Well,
me, like truly, really understanding, you don't want to be the nagging wife. You truly, you
Aw.
truly don't want to be the nagging wife.
Mm.
If you go off into the corner of the room, the person that you're married to should not feel so much better that you're gone than when you're with them. So for me, it's just learning that part, that element of togetherness. Also means constructively sharing, but not being a nag.
Wow, I've never considered that.
Well,
but
that's so kind of you.
from your vantage point, like you not like that's fascinating.
I want to grow.
Yeah.
I want to develop as a person, and it's true for any situation. But since you asked about our marriage,
Yeah.
then for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of like I guess that's a bad analogy. I'm not even going to use that
Okay.
analogy. I'm gonna move on.
Wisdom
But-
also has come from
Right.
the first year.
Yeah, right.
Walking in wisdom and what
Yeah.
to say and what not to say. That's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely learning each other, learning how really discover how selfish. I'll just say for me how selfish I was. You get married. Sometimes when you get married earlier in life, you really, you're not really stuck in your ways. You get married in your 30s. It's kind of like, man, I'm used to doing this a certain way. I'm used to my space. I'm used to my elbow room. Like, oh, we right here. We got to figure. And then learning to figure things out together, even figuring out disagreements together, like the way we process, the way we're thinking. Like, seriously, it was tough, but I'm thankful that I think that's the piece where God comes in, and it's
Priest
like,
Scotty's been there, yes.
yeah, but where it's
Yes.
like, okay, God, we're in this. Like vows still matter,
Sure.
you know, and to overcome, and that builds and that strengthens. So
Yeah, good
sometimes you can check
reminder.
out.
Good reminder. Just really renewing the mind to just say, okay, hey, we are committed, and we're doing this together. Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
right. I'm trying to stay on tabs with my people. Kyron, I see you, homie. My sisters checking in,
Uh,
man. We just thank you guys for tuning into the podcast, man. Like, feel free to share your insights on transitions, on seasons, on things in life. I believe that God is with us in every season. What's
yes.
been your greatest season as a person? Like, what's been one of your greatest seasons? Like teaching in the schools or?
No, I love the present
Okay.
always. So
Oh,
for me, I believe that my greatest season is in the moment, in the time that I'm spending.
right.
So I'm really looking forward to just everything that God shares in the day, in the moment.
Yeah.
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 And for yourself?
That's good. That's good to always be in the moment, not to be too far ahead and not to be too far behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's great to reflect and it's great to dream, but
Mhm.
it's also great to be in the moment.
Mhm.
Even, sometimes we can just get caught up on chasing something or regretting something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and God's like, no regrets.
Yeah.
And as you aspire and as you seek, the future and the hope that God has called us to, remember, like, just to be in the moment with your loved ones. Be in the moment with where you are in your career. Be in the moment with the seasons that you're in. So that's great. That's great. That's great. I honestly do not like change either. I didn't know that you wasn't really a fan of change. Maybe I assume that you enjoy change because you've had to change. Like, you've had to move from place to place. You've had to change your
Right.
last name. You've had
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
all of these different things. But that wasn't necessarily something that she was like, oh, I'm just jumping up to do that. Me living in the same area for the most part for 3 decades, I don't enjoy change. I enjoy traveling, getting out, but I always want to come back to a base.
I can
You know,
understand why you may have even confused that because I do enjoy travel. I
for
do.
sure, for
I
sure.
do. But I definitely when it comes to major life moments, it's that's definitely something that
Yeah.
I love the people. So
Hmm.
I love people, and I appreciate those opportunities when I'm with people. So that's
Hmm.
what makes it really hard to change. That's what
Hmm.
makes it harder to
Yeah,
move. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I get attached. I am a attachy person. I will admit that. Like, I get attached to people, and so I think sometimes God is like, bro,
Yeah.
don't be
Yeah. We
so.
can't be. Yeah. There's a
There's a there's
line.
a line.
There's a
There's a
line.
line. There's a line there. So bringing hope in the hostile world. Y'all check out
Yeah.
mosesproject.com. We are doing some fabulous, amazing work. Thanks to your support. We are able to go live with you. We're able to share hope, love, encouragement to our community, do amazing things. Consider being a supporter
Mm.
of Moses Project. Go to the website, click donate. You can give as much as as little as $5 a month, and support what we're doing in the community. But I do believe for us as a people, that change is good. That it is great to walk in seasons and knowing what God is calling us to walk in.
Right. Right.
And so whether you're in a season of transition right now as a student or as a teacher, as a career person, and you are changing into and transitioning into something different, know that God takes us from faith to faith,
Yeah.
from glory to
Glory to
glory. He
glory.
guides us,
Yeah.
and it's all for us to grow closer to Him. It's all for our benefit. We know that He is a good Father. He's a good King,
Yes.
and it might feel uncomfortable, but many
Woo.
times progress happens in uncomfortability. So be encouraged, my people. Y'all are amazing, and we are uh, bringing hope, man. We are all super stoked about what we can do together in building
Right.
community,
Right.
creating a new community together. You got any final thoughts for the people today?
It's in this season. I truly do believe it's important to know that you're not alone walking in season. So if you don't have someone, I'm praying right now that you will have someone who is going to be of value, to hold you accountable, and also to just let you know that you are encouraged along the way. It is so important to be encouraged in the seasons that we're walking in. So I'm praying for that for every single person, that there's someone that you can rock alongside with that is going to be a rich friend that is going to encourage you, because you are loved and you are valuable in every single moment, because God is doing some great things and he wants to continue to do them through you.
Yeah. And shout out to April Baines. Look at, she says, come on now. Starting a new career tomorrow. He is a good
Wow.
father
That's
and
so
makes
fantastic.
all things new. How cool is that? Our prayers to you, April. Let us as a
Yes.
community lift April up as she transitions into her new career. Congratulations.
Woo.
So excited for what God is going to do through that. Right on, right on. So we love you guys. We are Hope in a Hostile World. We are the Royal Podcast. Know that he is with you in and out of season. This is the season. This is the season. And we're out. I holla.